School and the Gladiators from Clarke Central High School. The starting line is first for the visiting Wildcats. Number 3, Cleveland. Number 15, Gladiators. Number 24, Ahmed. Number 32, Cameron Blakely. And number 44, Baldwin. The Wildcats are coached by Coach Kevin Morris. And now, starting out for the Clarke Central Gladiators. Back on number 3, Donovan Thompson. Back on number 10, Austin Johnson. Back on number 11, Javante Smith. At forward, number 12, Cameron Johnson. And at forward, number 22, Leroy Leggett. These lines are coached by Coach Andre McIntyre.
Welcome to Gladiator TV in Clarke Central High School. Tonight's matchup is between the Clarke Central Gladiators and the Apalachee Wildcats. I'm Josh Miles and we'll be bringing the action to you tonight. Clarke Central sits at 13-3, 6-3 in the region. Apalachee at 12-3 and 6-3 in the region. The Wildcats are coached by Kevin Morris and your Gladiators by Andre McIntyre. Start things off, tip goes long. Number 44 for Apalachee, Kamar Baldwin picks up the ball. Number 3 bringing the ball down the court, Cleveland gets it outside. Over the top of the key. Gladiators starting out in a trapping man-to-man, bringing the pressure early on in this ball game. Apalachee gets the ball to 44, Kamar Baldwin. Back to number 3 as they set up a new play. Cleveland bringing the ball down the court. Little guy showing off some moves. Gladiators with a steal. Number 12, Cameron Johnson with the layup that swirls around the bucket and goes in. Early 2-point lead. Gladiators pressing on the play. 5-second call. Gladiators with some early pressure forces a turnover on the Wildcats to start off this ball game. Cam Johnson dishes it in. Swish, beautiful shot there by number 22, Leroy Leggett. Gladiators still pressing, applying the pressure to the Wildcats early on. 24, Ahmed brings the ball up the court. Here come the Wildcats again, trying to set up their offense. Gladiators making that tough to do. Tough man-to-man defense. Foul called on number 3, Donovan Thompson for the Gladiators. Score 4-0 with 6:51 left to go in this first quarter. Early action here in Region 8 5A play. Sub-region matchup. 2 different sub-regions facing each other. Gladiators from 8B and the Wildcats from 8A. Wildcats still haven't got up a shot yet in this ball game. Great defense being played by the Gladiators early on. That's their first shot. It's off the back. The 24 gets the rebound, puts it back up. Another big rebound by the big man for the Wildcats. That's number 32, Cameron Blakely. Gladiators bring the ball down the court pretty fast. Number 11 with the ball. That's Javante Smith, puts it up. Missed shot. Cameron Blakely, obviously the biggest man out there on the court this evening. I'm sure we'll hear his name a lot on rebounds. Gladiators still pressing. This pressure seems to be causing Apalachee some trouble early on. But another foul call on the Gladiators. I wonder if that might make them step off the gas on the press a little bit. We'll see. Still just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter here. Man-to-man pass. Gladiators trapping some as well when the ball gets to the corners. But that's number 3, Clay Cleveland bring the ball up. Tries to get it outside. Steal for the Gladiators. They dish it down low. That's number 11. Jamonte Smith with the scoop and score. With the kiss. Wildcats get around the press that time. Dish it to the middle. Around the back by 44. Oh, and they called a foul on number 10 right there, Austin Johnson. Looks like 44 for the Wildcats. Kamar Baldwin will get to go to the line for 2 shots. Kamar Baldwin, the lefty, with the swish on his first free throw. 5:58 remaining here in the first quarter of action here at Clarke Central. 2 teams tied at second in the region, facing off, both with identical 6-3 region records. Something has to break tonight. Another swish on the second free throw there by Kamar Baldwin. Cam Johnson brings the ball down the court. Going to go all the way with a beautiful pass to Jamonte Smith, but a block by number 32. Cameron Blakely on the play. 44 brings it up again. Kamar with a shot off the rim. Rim unkind for him that time. 22 bringing it up the court. Leroy Leggett for the Gladiators. Dishes it to Cam. Cam showing off some dribbling skills. Dishes it outside to Jamonte Smith. Brings it back up top. Jamonte Smith for 3. And the rim is unkind. 32, yet another rebound. We're going to be calling his name a lot. Cameron Blakely again. Woo! His passing skills, not as good as the rebounding skills, though. This is it back outside. Cameron Blakely going for the 3. Misses the 3. 24 with the rebound for the Wildcats. Oh, my gosh. Just a lot of hustle and bustle going on under the basket right there. Gladiators come out with the ball, bringing it down the court. Oh, beautiful moves right there by number 3. Donovan Thompson couldn't get it to go, and they call a charging foul. 4:49 remaining here. Gladiators lead 6-4. Big substitutions. 4 men coming in for the Wildcats and 2 subs coming in for Clarke Central. The subs for Central include Deontay Cox into the game, as well as number 1, Jaquan Dowdy. And yet another foul called on Clarke Central with this high-pressure defense. That one called on Jaquan Dowdy just as he enters the game. It's the team's 3rd foul in the ball game. Apalachee with some more oomph into their step. 10 tries to bring it down low. One of their subs, Brandon Grion. Back to number 4, Jermaine Smith. Back to Brandon. Woo, another steal. Jaquan Dowdy bringing the ball down the court. He's going to go for the layup, and he goes over a man. No foul called. The shot is unkind, though. Does not go in for the Gladiators. Beautiful play. Jaquan Dowdy just soaring through the air there. Couldn't get the layup to go. And we still remain at 6-4. Gladiators lead with 4:21 left in the first quarter. Another steal for the Gladiators. That's 23 with the steal. Deontay Cox dishes it out to Cam Johnson. Cam drives to the middle. Oh, beautiful shot. It goes in on the floater. 8-4. Gladiators lead with 4 minutes remaining. Apalachee still trying to deal with this press. The Gladiators applying some heavy pressure. Trying not to get any more fouls, though. 3 early fouls. Great pressure again. Apalachee gets it to number 11 down low. Austin Miller. He tries to pass the ball. They say that Clarke Central tipped it on its way out of bounds. It'll still be Apalachee ball taking it down from the baseline. Apalachee trying to call a play from down there. Oh, 33 got wide open on that screen. Couldn't come up with a play with a great block by Clarke Central. Gets it down low. Deontay Cox goes over another guy. Woo! People just jumping around down low. This is going to be a battle. You can already tell it, folks. Cam Johnson trying to give the inbound pass. Looked like they call it an illegal screen on 23. That's Deontay Cox. Apalachee inbounds the ball. Number 4 for Apalachee, Jermaine Smith, breaks the press, gets the ball on the court so they can set up their offense. 21 trying to call the play. Calls for a screen. Gets it back to number 4. Into the lane. Number 4 goes up for the layup. Scoop and score, and it's good. That's Jermaine Smith that scored the basket there for Apalachee. 3:24 left in the quarter. Oh, ball dish to Jaquan Dowdy. Hits it off the backboard, and they call a foul, and the shot is no good. He'll have 2 shots from the charity stripe coming up real quick. Got to make your free throws. Get a free chance at the basket right here. Got to put these in. Jaquan Dowdy with a beautiful stroke on that first free throw to make the score 9-6. Gladiators lead. 1 more to go. Yet another swish. I'd love to have a swish every time I shot a free throw. That makes it 10-6 with 3:18 remaining in the first quarter. Gladiators still going with that press, causing the Wildcats trouble. Oh, and they get another steal out of it. That's 22 bringing the ball down the court. And another foul is called. 22, Leroy Leggett. Looks like he got up a little gimpy after that hard foul on him. He'll go to the line for 2 more free throws. If they're anything like his teammates' free throws a few seconds ago, you can see 2 more swishes right here. 10-6, Gladiators lead with 3:09 remaining in the first quarter. Oh, the rim is unkind as it goes off the left iron. Gladiators are prime pressure early on. That's causing the Wildcats trouble. Wildcats at 12-3 overall. Gladiators at 13-3, but you know, we figured something had to break tonight. So far, the Gladiators are bringing in that press and causing Apalachee trouble. We'll see how Apalachee responds to that as the game goes on. Leggett misses the second free throw. Remains 10-6. That's 33 for Apalachee. Blocking foul called on Central. So 33, Alante Billings will go to the line for 2 free throws. Apalachee lining up another 4 subs on the side. They'll bring those in now. Oh, they're subbing the whole lineup. They have 1 more guy remaining on the sideline waiting for that free throw shooter. Apalachee hoping he makes it so they can send in their other guy. 10-7 is the score now with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And it's good for Billings, so they'll bring in their 5th sub. I don't know if this is a response to the press or they're going to press some more on their own, and Apalachee does line up in a press. Trying to make sure all their guys stay fresh. It's going to be a long night in terms of moving that ball down the court and trying to get by the press for both of these squads right here. Cam Johnson breaks the press, gets it to number 23. Pretty shot, does not go in there for Deontay Cox. Apalachee brings the ball down the court again, goes to number 3, Quay Cleveland. Cleveland with the shot that goes in from the left corner. 10-10 is the score with 2:39 remaining. Cam Johnson gets the ball, going to try to break the press on his own. Not much resistance there. Brings the ball down the court. A screen waiting on him. Screen goes away. Oh, and he's stripped by number 15, Rakeem Peters. Rakeem Peters goes up and makes the layup, making it 12-10 Apalachee with 2:22 remaining. Gladiators get the ball down the court real quick. Jaquan Dowdy with the layup coming down from the side. Great loft pass down the court. Looked like a football play, lifting it to a wide receiver. 12-12 is the score with 2:10 left in the first quarter. 44 for Apalachee. Kamar Baldwin brings it up, trying to show off his hot sauce moves right there. Gets it outside at 24. Ahmed, 15 with the ball again. He's stripped. Oh, there goes 32. Cameron Blakely, the big man, trying to get inside, and he does. Off the backboard with the kiss. 14-12, Apalachee leads. 1:48 to go in the first quarter. Gladiators not rushing on breaking this press. They're quite comfortable bringing the ball down the court. Another strip by Apalachee. First it was the Gladiators forcing the turnovers. Now that's Apalachee doing the same. Gladiators force another one right when I say that. Apalachee gets the ball back, puts off a shot. Gladiators just pushing the ball down the court. Another foul, and the basket will count. And 1 is what they like to call it in the playground, making it 14-14 with 1:25 left. That's number 23, Deontay Cox, that'll be at the line shooting 1. A great battle early on here at Clarke Central High School between the Apalachee Wildcats with their gold and navy trim on the jerseys and the Clarke Central Gladiators with the red and gold. The free throw is good for Cox, and the score is 15-14. Clarke Central leads with 1:25 remaining in the first. Clarke Central going with that press, gonna stick with it. But man-to-man down the court after they get the ball in. 44 trying to show off his moves again. That's 44, Kamar Baldwin. Gets the ball to their guard, Quay Cleveland. Cleveland trying to look around, see what he can see. Woo! Cleveland gets up in the air. He's a little guy. With a nice little dish to Kamar Baldwin. Another block right there by Cam Johnson. They get the ball down to Cameron Blakely. He can't score. Just too many rebounds down low for Apalachee allowed right there. Apalachee leads 16-15 now, and Clarke Central will call a 30-second timeout to discuss things as we end this quarter. That's 52 seconds remaining in the first quarter here. A few little stats for you. Clarke Central is 5-1 at home this year. Apalachee 6-2 on the road, so as I brought up earlier, something is going to have to break. Both of these teams comfortable in an environment as such so far this year. Clarke Central only one loss at home. So we'll see how Apalachee responds to that. Crowd not too loud or anything, but seems like a nice little contention in here to catch some Tuesday night basketball in Athens, Georgia, the classic city. Gladiators break out of that timeout with a few subs in there. Number 4, Desmond Sorrells is in, as well as number 15, Jakeem Ellison. Cameron Johnson will bring the ball down the court. Scan the defense, and they bring it back up top. Back to Johnson. The high post screen's been waiting for him all day. He's trying to point to his man where he wants the screen to be. Oh, dished inside, a little too low for the big man, but number 15 picks it up. Another block by Blakely. Looks like they called a foul. I'm not sure who it was on. I'm going to wait to hear the ref signal. Looks like he called it on number 15 on Apalachee, Rakeem Peters. There'll be a 1-and-1 shot situation here. Or correction, he'll have 2 shots. That's number 34, Gary Stevens. Here comes his second shot after the first one went off the rim. 26 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Stevens puts it up, and that one is no good as well. Apalachee gets the rebound to the side. That's number 15, Rakeem Peters, bringing the ball down the court. Big man's got moves too. Might need to get rid of the ball soon, though, and he does. Get to the number 44, Kamar Baldwin. Baldwin calling what he wants. 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Time running out. 8 seconds remaining, and a foul is called to bail the Wildcats out with 8.5 seconds remaining. Looks like Kamar Baldwin will get to go. No, it's Blakely that'll go to the free throw line. Cameron Blakely, number 32 for the Wildcats. That foul was called on 34, Gary Stevens. That's the 8th foul on Clarke Central. So Blakely will have a 1-and-1 situation at the free throw line. And the first one with the soft touch Blakely has. That one clanks off the front of the rim, off the back of the rim, and goes in. 17-15, Apalachee leads here in the first. Blakely taking his time. Second free throw is good for Blakely. 18-15, the Wildcats lead over the Gladiators. Ball into Cam Johnson. 7 seconds remaining. Cam going to try to see what he can do. 2 men waiting for him. Gets it to 23. 23 with the shot, and it's no good. Deontay Cox couldn't get the 3 to go. So Clarke Central trails 18-15 as we head into the second quarter here at Clarke Central High School. So 18-15, Apalachee leads. Apalachee is averaging 69 points per game, and Clarke Central 65 points per game. Both teams not far away from that pace at all. Apalachee has played 1 fewer game than Clarke Central. That does impact their points per game total. We'll see what happens in terms of the teams getting to that mark in this game. Both teams are right around the same point total in terms of points they've allowed as well. Appalachee's allowed 873 points this year, and Clarke Central 887. Both teams playing tough man-to-man defense to start out the game here. We've seen turnovers by both sides. We've seen blocks forced by both defenses. Apalachee sprinkles out onto the court. We start the second quarter here. Apalachee leading 18-15. Ball dished into the corner. Seemed like a play called right out of the break, and it works beautifully for the Gladiators. That's 15, Jakeem Ellison for 3. Tying the score at 18 here at Clarke Central with 7 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the half. Quay Cleveland calling out a play. Gets the ball to number 2, Jody Mathis for Apalachee. Trying to pass the ball. 15 picks it up. Just bouncing the ball around. Can't contain it. 23, Deontay Cox brings it up with the spin around and the dipsy-do. Can't get it to go. Number 15 puts it back up for the Gladiators. That won't go either. It looks like they may have called an over-the-back call. Yeah, that's 34 they call with a push. Gary Stevens. Ball will go back to Apalachee. Score tied at 18. 7:22 remaining. That's the 9th Gladiator foul, so Apalachee will be headed back to the free throw line. 1-on-1 situation. That's 44. Kamar Baldwin at the line for the Wildcats. And the first one is good for Baldwin, 19-18. Check out those socks on these young lads this evening. Both of them, I need to get some of those socks. The red ones with the nice Nike stripe. I mean, Nike's doing a good job. Under Armour for Apalachee. Just some nice apparel they got out there. Kamar Baldwin, second free throw. And it's good again. Showing off his nice stroke from the charity stripe. 20-18 Apalachee leads with 7:18 remaining here in the half. Cameron Johnson. High pressure defense being played by Kamar Baldwin. They call him for the foul there. Clarke Central setting up in the same set they did coming into the second quarter. We'll see if they have another three-point attempt coming up here. I see them setting up the screen on the backside. They get it out to Cam. No three. He'll dish it back to the top. That's number 3, Donovan Thompson. 23, Deontay Cox will bring it up. Looking for Cam. Cam's got an isolation out to the right side. We'll see if he tries to get by, and they call another foul on Kamar Baldwin. High pressure on Cam. Both of them talking to each other right now. The ref may have to say something. In the spirit of sportsmanship right here. Two quality players for both of their teams. Kamar and Cam right there. Exchanging a few words. Apalachee's coach will take out Kamar. Cam inbounds the ball to number 23, Deontay Cox. Cox has it outside the three-point arc. Gets it back up to Donovan Thompson. I don't know what the call was there, if it was a screen or, looked like they called some kind of elbow on Cameron Johnson right there. That's his first foul and the 10th foul against Clarke Central. It was an offensive foul, so Apalachee will not shoot on that. 6:45 remaining in the half. So many steals in this ball game. Clarke Central doing a great job on the defensive end, getting their hands in the way of in the line of the passing lanes, and forcing turnovers. Another foul was called. Trying to see who that one was on. Appears to have been on Apalachee after Clarke Central forced the turnover. Ref still trying to. Looks like a 1-on-1 situation right here, as one ref indicates under the Clarke Central basket. But the foul happened. So they do come to a consensus, and they will make it a 1-on-1 here. Cameron Johnson will be at the line. Cameron goes off the back rim. Cameron Blakely, the big man for Apalachee, gets the rebound, dishes it out to his guard, Quay Cleveland, who gets it down low immediately. Looked like another block to me, and it is, and it goes off the Apalachee player after Cam Johnson gets a block for the Gladiators. Cam Johnson will inbound it, number 3, Donovan Thompson. Thompson bringing the ball down the court with heavy pressure on him by the other number 3, Quay Cleveland. Refs calling everything in this ball game. Thus far, any contact, those refs are going to call it. Looks like Apalachee lining up heavy subs on their sideline again. Going to bring those in now. All 5 players on the court for the Wildcats coming off now, as Apalachee leads 20-18 with 6:23 remaining in the half. That'll be number 3 for Clarke Central, Donovan Thompson at the free throw line. A 1-and-1 situation here for the Gladiators. Off the back rim again, Apalachee with the rebound. They'll bring the ball up the court. Clarke Central trying to move around on the defensive end. Apalachee doing a lot more moving on the offensive end, I must say. That gets to number 10 for 3 for Apalachee. That was Brandon Grulin. Number 11 gets the rebound, and it can't go for Austin Miller. Clarke Central. Donovan Thompson with the ball, gets it to Deontay Cox, who puts it up, and that's no good either. And this is on both sides. There's 5:52 remaining in the half. Apalachee leading 20-18. Dowdy calling the play for the inbounds. Gets it to Donovan Thompson. Donovan Thompson is called for the charge, as Apalachee's number 4, Jermaine Smith, was waiting under the basket for him to drive. Those refs can get really emphatic with those charging calls. I mean, in the spirit of the game, I've seen some in college basketball where the crowd's going wild, and that ref will be like a trained actor giving that charging call. Looks like Clarke Central going with the 1-3-1 defense right now, mixing things up, trapping as well. Apalachee, we'll see how they respond. A great trap already. Jump ball called. Possession goes to Apalachee. Cameron Johnson will come into the game for 34, Gary Stevens. 5:36 remaining in the half. Dowdy putting pressure on the inbounds man. Deontay Cox at the top of the 1-3-1 for Clarke Central. Apalachee trying to get some open passes. They just can't. Seems like every time down the court a pass is tipped or 2. Number 4 for 3. That's Jermaine Smith for Apalachee. Doesn't go. Clarke Central immediately gets the ball down the court. 15, Shaquem Ellison gets it outside. Deontay Cox with it at the top of the key now. Back to Cameron Johnson for 3, and it's good with the swish. Cameron Johnson from the left arc. 21-20, Clarke Central leads. 5 minutes remaining in the half. Clarke Central with that high pressure defense. Another steal is forced. Jaquan Dowdy with the ball now. Deontay Cox is pointing up for the alley, and there goes the oop, and it's no good. Almost had it. Just off the side of the rim as Cox tried to slam that one down. I saw him reach up his hand calling for that one, just couldn't get it to go. Almost another steal by the Gladiators as number 11, Austin Miller, gets his hand in there. This defense is really forcing some problems against that Apalachee offense. Still a close game here at Clarke Central. Clarke Central leading 21-20. Jaquan Dowdy with the ball, gets it deep. Almost overthrows Deontay Cox, and he does. So that'll be a turnover on the Gladiators' part. Jermaine Smith gets it down low to his teammate for Apalachee, who scores. That's Austin Miller with the basket, making it 22-21 Apalachee with 4:23 remaining in the half. Cameron Johnson dishes it outside to number 15. That's Shaquem Ellison, no good. Jermaine Smith bringing the ball down the court for the Wildcats. Jaquan Dowdy gets his head up again. They've got numbers. We'll see what Dowdy does. He goes straight to the basket, tries the finger roll, does not go. Back outside, that's 11. Jamonte Smith, correction. I said his name, the Apalachee player last time. That's Jamonte Smith, who just missed the shot. And it'll be Apalachee ball again. Tight ball game here. 22-21 Apalachee leads with 3:55 remaining in the half. Wildcats not really doing much in the way of screens, just trying to move around and get open, see what they can do. A nice little dribble drive right there. It looks like a foul is called against Clarke Central's Jaquan Dowdy on Austin Miller as we saw him falling to the floor on the baseline. This will be 2 shots here for Austin Miller for Apalachee. And And the first one's good. Apalachee has all those subs lined up yet again. They'll bring on 4 now. And number 15, Rakeem Peters, is waiting on the sideline, waiting for that shooter, Austin Miller. Apalachee seems to be playing about 10 guys here, 10 or 11. Mixing in all those guys, keeping everyone fresh. Austin Miller's second free throw is good, so they'll bring in that other sub off the sideline now as the Wildcats lead 24-21 with 3:39 remaining in the half. As you can see, both teams starting out in that press, man-to-man press defense. They'll bring the ball into one guy, Cam Johnson, and everyone else will clear. So not too much pressure being put on the Gladiators with that press. Another foul called right there against Apalachee's number 15 just as he comes into the ball game. That's Rakeem Peters. Cameron Johnson will go to the line for shooting 2 shots here. Wildcats coach has some trouble with that call, but it was called nonetheless. Cameron Johnson for his first free throw. Off the back of the rim. No good. And I don't know, but me looking at the scoreboard, it says 9 fouls right there against Apalachee, and I'm wondering if that was supposed to be a 1-on-1 situation. I don't know if the refs are discussing that now, but nonetheless, and their Apalachee coach is saying something now, but Cam will get a second try at it. And it does not go, so maybe the Apalachee coach will cheer up now. Ball brought down the court by the Wildcats. They'll get it outside, back to number 3. Quay Cleveland dishes it inside, no good. Body's just flailing down there. 33, Alante Billings comes up with the score for the Wildcats. 26-21, Apalachee leads with 3:12 remaining. And that'll be a Clarke Central timeout to discuss some things on the sideline here. In the last game for Clarke Central, they beat Madison County 80-48. This is nothing like that one. That was a blowout for the Gladiators. For Apalachee, their last game was against Habersham Central, and they won 73-60. They're on a 3-game win streak. Trying to extend that tonight, and the Gladiators trying to say, not in our house. So we'll see what happens with this one. Great start thus far, though. Close ball game here. 3:12 remaining in the half. Apalachee with a 26-21 lead. Jaquan Dowdy will bring the ball up the court for the Gladiators. He scopes the court, dribbles through his legs, gets it outside to 22, Leroy Leggett, who jumps up. Nice jump shot, and the rim is kind. 23 points for the Gladiators now. They only trail by 3 with 2:54 remaining. Still sticking with that 1-3-1 defense. High pressure. Blakely with the rainbow does not go. Kamar with the shot, and it does go there for Kamar Baldwin for Apalachee. 28-23, the Wildcats lead. 2:37 remaining. Nice drive there, but they do call a foul. They do call a foul on number 32, Cameron Blakely. It's 23, Deontay Cox showed off some moves right there. DeAndre Cox, showed off some moves right there in his drive to the basket. I've been saying Deontay all game, please forgive me. I was scrambling downstairs trying to write down these names before I came back up here. All is well. DeAndre Cox shooting his first free throw from the line. And that does go. 24-28, the Gladiators trail here with 2:30 remaining in the half. DeAndre Cox dribbles the ball for the second free throw. Oh, and it's no good. Bounces off the back rim. Wildcats bringing the ball down the court again. Their offense has been productive in the past few minutes. Gets it outside to Kamar Baldwin for 3, and that's good. 31-24, Apalachee lead. 2:17 remaining. Dowdy will bring the ball up. Clarke Central going to slow things down a little bit on the offensive side. There goes DeAndre Cox driving again. Gets above Blakely, and the shot goes. That's 26 points now. Gladiators trailing by 5 with 2 minutes remaining in the half. Kamar Baldwin. Was that ball kicked? Oh, yes, it was kicked. So Wildcats fortunate to keep the ball on this possession. They'll start up top with Quay Cleveland calling the play as he gets it from his coach. Down low to Blakely. 2 men jump up. Blakely waits, and they do call a traveling foul on him. Traveling violation, I should say. He had 2 men jump in the air trying to get the block on him. He waited but shuffled his feet there before going up for the basket. Gladiators trail 31-26 with 1:45 remaining in the half. Jaquan Dowdy has the ball up top. Gets it to DeAndre. DeAndre going to drive a little bit. Gets it back out to Leroy Leggett. Back to DeAndre. Cox going to take it up top. Almost that backcourt there. Looking outside, 11. That's Jamonte Smith. No good from 3. Cameron Blakely, the big man, trying to dribble the ball down the court. Gets it to his little point guard, Quay Cleveland. Cleveland looking around. Throws it to nowhere. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Clarke Central ball after the turnover by the Wildcats. Apalachee leads Clarke Central 31-26 with 1:12 remaining in the first half. Number 3, Donovan Thompson, comes onto the court for the Gladiators. Trying to close out the half well here. Thompson calls out the play, brings the ball down the court. Back to Dowdy. Dowdy with a dribble drive, gets it outside to Cox. Back to Thompson. Thompson down low to Dowdy. And no good. Jermaine Smith with the rebound. Down the court to Quay Cleveland. Gets it to Blakely. He can't hold on to it. Back to Blakely. Jaquan Dowdy with the steal for the Gladiators. And he loses the ball. Looks like they're going to say it went. Oh, wow. They're saying it went off of Jaquan Dowdy. They're going to make an Apalachee ball with 45 seconds remaining in the half. Clarke Central trailing by 5. Kamar Baldwin, he's been one of the leading scorers for Apalachee. He comes back into the ball game. Going to try to close out the half with almost their starting lineup. 15 is not in the ball game. Rakeem Peters, instead they have in number 4, Jermaine Smith. Back up to Quay Cleveland up top for Apalachee. He barks out the play, gets it back to Kamar Baldwin. Baldwin down low to Blakely, or I should say outside to Blakely. Blakely trying to post up down low. They get the ball to him. He bounces it once, puts it off the backboard, and it's good. 33-26. Apalachee leads. Ball goes to Jamonte Smith. Back to Dowdy. Dowdy bring up ball up the court. Goes to Cox. Keep it in Cox's hands. He's been great with the dribble drive thus far. That may be what happens here. Screen coming up top by Leggett. Leggett may be setting a screen. And Leggett does come up to set that screen. Back to Leggett, no good. Oh, and that's no good to end the half. You can hear the crowd getting excited there as a Apalachee player slipped to the floor after Cox tried to go around his back for that nice play. Did not work out. Clarke Central trails 33-26 at the half. We'll be back for the second half here at Clarke Central here on GITV. Been an exciting ball game thus far, and I'm sure we'll see more of that when we come back to you for the second half.
Coach Ward, report to the scores table, please. Coach Ward, to the scores table.
And we're back live at Clarke Central High School. This is GITV, and I'm Josh Miles. Apalachee has the 33-26 lead at the half as we start this third quarter. You missed out on some great action during the half. Some young kids got up here and shot some three-pointers from half court. The first one that shot it made it right off the backboard. It was fun to see. I wish I could have been down there shooting as well. I would have missed it though. But we'll start the second half here. The Gladiators coming out, starting with the ball, trailing by 7 in the third quarter. Ball taken by Donovan Thompson, and he'll bring it up. Passes it to 11, Jamonte Smith. Back to Thompson. Thompson will get it to Cox. Cox waiting for Thompson, back to Thompson now, and he'll scan the defense. Thompson drive with a nice spin move, puts it over. Blakely with the rebound for Apalachee. Gets it to number 3, Quay Cleveland. Cleveland bringing the ball up the court, back to Blakely. Blakely gets it outside to number 24, Ahmed. He'll go up for the shot, and he's fouled by 11, Jamonte Smith. Ahmed will have 2 shots from the free throw line to start off this second half. Clarke Central and Apalachee tied for second in the region, 8-5A. And you can tell right now by the way these teams are facing off, Apalachee with the 8-point lead to start off the second half, but Clarke Central is right there with them toe-to-toe. Ahmed makes his first free throw, and the second one is good as well to extend the lead to 9 points, 35-26 Apalachee leads. Ball immediately delivered down the court to Jamonte Smith, and he's blocked by Blakely, and the block goes off of Smith coming down from up above, I'll say, because Blakely got way up there for that block. Clarke Central back in that press. Nice pressure on the inbounds pass. There was a whistle, and the whistle is for a timeout. There'll be a 30-second timeout by Apalachee, as they'll try to discuss some different methods to break this press that Clarke Central is applying. They immediately inbounded the ball into the corner, and that's not where you want it. That made it even easier for Clarke Central to trap. It's like they had 3 men there. You had the out-of-bounds marker, and then you had 2 men waiting. Baldwin couldn't really move down there, couldn't get rid of the ball. Smart timeout there by Apalachee as they lead 35-26 to start off this second half. 7:20 remaining in the third quarter. Clarke Central still applying the pressure, but now Apalachee has the inbounds play, and they call a foul on Jamonte Smith as he tries to defend his man, number 24, Ahmed. Oh, correction. That's an offensive foul they called on the moving screen. 44, Kamar Baldwin called him foul. Gets it into 11. Jamonte Smith. The ball was tipped just a little bit as he went up, and it's no good. Kamar Baldwin will get it down. It goes to Quay Cleveland. Cleveland dishes it outside to Cameron Blakely. Blakely back inside to Kamar Baldwin. He'll dish it outside to number 15, Rakeem Peters, and he swishes the 3 from outside. The big man showing that he can shoot as well. 38-26, Apalachee leads with 6:55 remaining here in the third quarter. Ball delivered outside to Cox. Looks like there is a foul called on the baseline against Ahmed. That'll be the second team foul on Apalachee. Ball given outside, back inside to Cox. He'll spin around, puts it up with his left hand, and it's no good. Blakely with the rebound. Blakely looking down the court. He'll dribble a little bit, gets it to his point guard, Quay Cleveland. Cleveland going to try and drive. He dishes it outside to Ahmed. Ahmed will get it to Rakeem Peters. Gets it to Quay Cleveland. That's number 3, Donovan Thompson, with the defense for Clarke Central. They'll try to stop the drive by Cleveland, and they do. Number 15, Jakeem Ellison with the block there. Cox loses the ball as he looks up. Ahmed has the ball. He'll get it to his... Oh, he'll try to... Okay, he does get it to Rakeem Peters. Clarke Central almost had to steal there. Back to Quay Cleveland up top, and they'll try to set up their offense. The Apalachee coach, Kevin Moore, shouting out what he wants his team to do. Kamar Baldwin with it on the right corner. He'll go into his right, which is not his strong side. He shoots it over the backboard, and it's no good. Scramble down low. Clarke Central does get the timeout. Great job there on the scramble by number 22, Leroy Leggett, managing to corral that ball and call a timeout before the jump ball came. If it would have been a jump ball, the possession arrow would have gone to Clarke Central, but they'll still keep the possession arrow here after having that timeout called. So Apalachee leads 38-26 going into this timeout, which will be a full timeout with 5:54 remaining in the third quarter. Clarke Central trailing by 12. This is a good timeout to have right here by Coach McIntyre to discuss what needs to happen on the offensive side of the ball. Clarke Central trailing by 12 to Apalachee. Now, the team at first in Region 8-5A is Salem. The Salem Seminoles have a 7-2 record in the region. Clarke Central lost to Salem 59-58. Very close game in their first meeting. And they'll face the Seminoles again on January 25th at Salem. That'll be a big game. But first for matters of today, and that's here at Clarke Central, where Apalachee has a 12-point lead over the Gladiators with 5:54 left in the third. Clarke Central inbounding the ball, and that's Donovan Thompson bringing the ball up the court for the Gladiators. Thompson gets it to Leroy Leggett, back up top to Jakeem Ellison, back to Thompson. Thompson gets it to number 10, Austin Johnson. The rim is unkind on that three. Blakely dishes the ball down the court like a quarterback. Kamar Baldwin gets it out back, gets it up top to his point guard, Quay Cleveland. Cleveland, the little man for Apalachee, really can move. Hard to defend him, hard to get up on him because he's moving all over the place. A little guy with some wiggle, some body lean, and some speed. Ahmed will inbound the ball, gets it to Cleveland. Quay Cleveland coming down the court again. Apalachee trying to set up their offense. Blakely will come up to set a high ball screen. Ball outside to Kamar Baldwin. Back inside to Blakely. Blakely tries to put it on the floor. Blakely getting his own rebound after the miss and puts it back in, giving Apalachee a 14-point lead, 40-26, with 4:53 remaining in the game. In the third quarter, I should say. Blakely with the rebound, brings it down, gets it to his point guard, Quay Cleveland. Asking for the ball back now is Blakely. Good job fronting him by 22 for Clarke Central. With the steal for Clarke Central, gets it to Cox. Cox going to the basket, almost lost it, but still puts it in. A great job. He almost lost the ball. He contained it, gets it in for the layup. Clarke Central only trails by 12 now. Kick ball there. Kamar Baldwin was trying to get the ball to his big man, Cameron Blakely. A low bounce pass hits off the foot of 22, Leroy Leggett for Clarke Central, and that'll be Apalachee ball. Clarke Central trailing 40-28 with 4:28 left in this third period. Apalachee setting up their inbounds play. They'll get it to Ahmed. 15, Rakeem Peters, no good. Clarke Central moving that ball down the court. Giving down low to number 10, great pass there. That's number 10, Austin Johnson for the layup. Clarke Central only trailing by 12 now. Almost forced another steal there. 4:13 remaining in third quarter. Cox with the pressure on 44, Kamar Baldwin. Back out to Cleveland. Clarke Central playing sound defense on this possession, fronting that big man down low, not allowing him to get the ball. Cleveland trying to figure something out. Great defense still being played. Another swat. They got a chap in the corner. And another steal for the Gladiators there. That's 22, Leroy Leggett going to the basket. And he's fouled. And it is good for Clarke Central. That makes it 40-32. Leroy Leggett, great job getting the ball down the court. absorbing the contact and still making that layup count. Clarke Central only trailing by 8 now with 3:47 remaining in the third quarter. Apalachee with another 5-man sub, bringing in a whole new lineup there for the Wildcats. We'll see if Clarke Central can take advantage of that. Already doing great on the past 3 possessions. Clarke Central forcing turnovers and pushing that ball down the court. Leggett for 1 free throw here. And the free throw is good. Clarke Central trailing by 7, 40-33 with 3:47 remaining in the third. Apalachee can't inbound the ball, and they do get it in. It's in the corner. That's trap. That's asking for a trap down there. Clarke Central gets another steal. Leggett goes up for the layup. No good. Rebound taken by Austin Johnson. Oh, no, and the ball goes back to Apalachee. That's 33 with the slam. Alante Billings for Apalachee. Clarke Central should have had 2 there. Apalachee turns that into 2 of their own to go up 42-33. Cox has the ball up top. Screaming at his teammates there, back to number 15, Jakeem Ellison. He'll get it up top to Donovan Thompson. Thompson going to drive in, goes up, and they're saying the shot wouldn't have counted anyway. A foul on the floor. Apalachee coach Kevin Morris on the court yelling at his player there. Didn't like what he saw. 3:11 remaining in the third. Clarke Central trailing by 9. The 3 by Cox is no good. 11. Austin Miller with the rebound for Apalachee. Another steal for Clarke Central and a great scoop and score by number 10, Austin Johnson. Clarke Central only trailing by 7 now. Still with the pressure, and they get another steal. Austin Johnson brings it up the court. He's looking at his teammate, gives it to Cox. Cox goes up, and he's fouled, and it is good. Clarke Central only trailing by 5 now. Clarke Central doing a great job in transition, moving down the court, beating the Wildcats down the court each and every time in transition. Clarke Central only trailing by 5 now as we go into a timeout. Cox will have a shot coming out of this timeout right here as Clarke Central trails 42-37 with 2:54 remaining in the third. Clarke Central forcing turnovers here and turning these turnovers into points. That's what you want to see out of your defense. Get that turnover, push that ball down the court. Apalachee's been subbing guys in and out of the ball game, but Clarke Central still able to move that ball down the court and fly by those Apalachee guys. They've been doing a good job, keeping the ball out of that big man's hands. That's Cameron Blakely, the big man for Apalachee. We can only assume that he's been a key cog in their offense thus far this season. Clarke Central's done a good job fronting him and not allowing him to do too much. He's gotten a few rebounds for the Wildcats, but Clarke Central has indeed limited his scoring. Cox will be at the line here for Clarke Central. He'll have 1 free throw, trying to complete the, as they say, and 1. We'll see if he can get it from the charity stripe. My dad always told me growing up, got to make your free throws. The big shot right here for Cox. And DeAndre can't sink it. The rim is unkind there. Clarke Central still trailing by 5 with 2:51 remaining in the third. Almost a backcourt violation by the Wildcats. Gets it down low to Austin Miller, and Cox with a great job fronting those big men inside. Almost another steal. He forces the ball out of bounds. Ref asks the player, Leroy Leggett, to fix the net right there, and he does. So now we'll continue play. Looks all nice and pretty now for us. Oh! Apalachee executed their inbounds play to a T there for Austin Miller to get 2 points and then to extend the lead back to 7 points. Donovan Thompson bringing the ball up the court. He'll scan the defense, gets it outside to Leggett. Leggett looking around, gets it back to Cox. Cox will take it up top, looking at his point guard. He'll handle it on his own. We'll see if he can get some isolation here. He gets it back outside to Leggett. Leggett looking around, gets it to Ellison. Ellison outside to Thompson. Thompson drives with a scoop, and it's no good. Just a little too hard off the backboard there. Ball back. Leggett puts it in. Clarke Central only trailing 44. Another steal there by Cox immediately on the inbounds play. Cox goes up, and it's good. Clarke Central only trailing 44-41. 3-point lead for Apalachee now with 1:55 left in the third. Clarke Central, the pressure defense, but only one man still on the court now. Yet another steal by Ellison. Ellison pushing it up the court. Down there to Thompson. Thompson goes up, and the foul is called. Thompson will have 2 shots from the line. as the Gladiators trail 44-41 with 1:44 remaining here in the third quarter. Great pressure we're seeing here by the Gladiators, forcing so many turnovers here in this third to turn that lead around. Here comes the first of 2 free throws by Thompson. Way to go. Take your time, young man. Take your time. Clarke Central now trailing by 2 points. Thompson with his second free throw. Rim is unkind. Clarke Central trailing by 2. Apalachee trying to push the ball up the court. Oh, and they did get the timeout call. He barely got the call off in time before the possession arrow. Oh, it would have been Apalachee possession anyway. I had that arrow reversed last time I looked at it. I got it correct now. That'll be a 30-second timeout for Apalachee, and they'll bring back in all their starters after this break. Bringing back in Quay Cleveland, Rakeem Peters, Ahmed, Cameron Blakely, and Kamar Baldwin. They brought in the subs, and Clarke Central had a nice surge there to cut the lead to 2. 1:39 remaining in the third quarter. Clarke Central trailing 44-42. Quay Cleveland will take the ball out of bounds for Apalachee from the side next to the Clarke Central coaching staff. Cleveland trying to inbound it. Great job by Ellison, trying to get some pressure on Ahmed. Ellison moving his feet, getting down the court. Great pressure there by Ellison. Peters with a scoop and score for Apalachee. Clarke Central immediately pressing the ball down the court. Cox with the ball up top. Apalachee leads 46-42. Austin Johnson gives it off to Cox. Cox for 3. No good. Rebound to Leggett. Leggett for 2. No good. Rebound. Oh, and Clarke Central can't hang on to it. It bounces off Austin Johnson right there, and the ball will go to Apalachee. Kamar Baldwin down on the floor trying to tie his shoes. Got to keep those shoes tied, young man. They still don't seem to be tied all the way, so there may be another stoppage in action in just a minute here. Apalachee, great job by Ellison. Ellison with the pressure defense. Cox gets the ball. Finger roll, no go. Quay Cleveland will bring it up for Apalachee. He tries to spin around, does not work. Quay Cleveland dishes it back out to Kevin Peters, who shoots a 3, and that's no good. Ellison with the rebound for Clarke Central, and he's fouled. Quay Cleveland ducked under him, and he fell on his back. Ellison seems to be okay. He got right back up with the all white on. I like it. I like the look, young man. That'll be the 7th foul on Apalachee. Clarke Central should be shooting a 1-and-1 here. Trailing 46-42 with 47 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Jakeem Ellison here at the charity stripe. Ellison with a classic 3-bounce look before the free throw. And it's up, and it's swish. Looked beautiful. Clarke Central now only down by 3, 46-43. Ellison taking his time again. 1, 2, 3 go the bounces. We'll see if this second one looks the same. And it is good from Ellison. Clarke Central trailing by 2, applying the pressure yet again. Trap going to the corner. As we expected, everybody reaching for the steal. And they do call a foul there on Leggett. Reached a little bit too hard there. Got his arm of Ahmed. Clarke Central almost did get the steal there. Apalachee would take the ball in from the sideline. That's number 4, Jermaine Smith, inbounding the ball for the Wildcats. Gets it into Blakely. Blakely trying to get it down low. And Blakely, they call a charging foul on Blakely as he knocked down Leggett on the play. Kevin Morris doesn't like it, but I'll tell you what, the Clarke Central crowd does as they clap here right in front of me. Clarke Central about to inbound the ball. Austin Johnson. Looks like there was a technical foul called on Apalachee coach Kevin Morris. Said a little too much to the ref there. The ref did try to give him a warning, told him to calm down, Morris kept speaking his mind. Technical foul called. And Ellison will be at the line for Clarke Central for the free throw. And the shot is good. Clarke Central down by 1, 46-45 with 38 seconds remaining in the third. Ellison with the second shot at the line. The second shot is good. The score is tied up here at Clarke Central, 46 all. 38 seconds remaining in the third. You can tell this Clarke Central crowd is getting excited. Coach McIntyre yells out instructions to his team. Austin Johnson brings the ball up, gets a screen from Cox. Back to Cox. Oh, the ball is almost stolen by Jermaine Smith for Apalachee. Cox will inbound the ball, tied at 46 with 31 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Oh, no, some miscommunication there on the inbounds play. Miscommunication indeed. 48-46, Apalachee leads. Jaquan Dowdy with the ball now. He'll bring it up for the Gladiators. Dowdy waiting for the screen from Cox. McIntyre yells out some more instructions. 3 men on the left side of the court, only 2 on the right side. Cox is wide open in the right corner. They get the ball to him. He tries to shoot the 3. Oh, and it's in and out to end the third quarter here. Apalachee leads 48-46. What a ball game, my friends. What a ball game. Some great Tuesday night basketball here in Athens. I tell you what. And now I'm sure many of you are already thinking it's going to be an exciting ball game here on Saturday when Clarke Central faces Cedar Shoals. We've got an exciting ball game on our hands right now. Right now indeed. Clarke Central's next 2 games include being at Heritage this Friday at 8:30 p.m. and then home against Cedar Shoals on Saturday at 3:30. As we enter the fourth quarter here, Clarke Central trailing by 2 after a great third quarter to cut that lead down. Had it tied at 46 just a minute ago before a miscommunication on an inbounds pass. 8 minutes to go in this ball game, and I can only imagine we'll have an exciting finish here with the way that third quarter went especially. Wildcats bringing out three guys from the starting lineup and 2 others. Jermaine Smith, number 4, in for Apalachee, as well as number 33, Alante Billings. Clarke Central has in the same lineup that they closed the third quarter with. Oh, what a block there by Leggett. They get it outside to Blakely. Blakely for 3, and it's no good. Great rebound there by Cox. Jaquan Dowdy bringing the ball down the court for the Gladiators. Dowdy will go inside, scoops, and he scores. Gotta love the scoop and score. That was beautiful. Had the ball in his right hip, ducked down a little bit, and just threw that ball up. It goes in off the backboard. Tied up at 48 here with 7:44 left. He just scooped that ball up like he was throwing a hacky sack. It's tied up at 48 here with 7:44 remaining in the game. Dowdy out the line for 1 free throw, going for that legendary and 1, and the free throw is good. Clarke Central with the lead. It's been a while. 49-48, Gladiators lead. Ellison tries to get on the defensive end. Kemar Baldwin with the ball for the Wildcats. Baldwin will drive with the fake out to Jermaine Smith, who's wide open for 3. The rim is unkind for him. Cox with the ball, and it's stolen immediately. Kemar Baldwin with the ball again for the Wildcats. He gets it down low to Blakely, who dishes it to Billings, and they call a foul on Dowdy there. The foul is on the floor, so the Wildcats will inbound from down low. 7:27 remaining in the ball game. Clarke Central with the first lead in a long while. 49-48, Clarke Central leads. Out to Jermaine Smith up top for the Wildcats. He gets it outside to Quay Cleveland. Quay Cleveland crosses the court with the skip pass. Kemar Baldwin drives. The lefty, no good. Oh, Billings gets the rebound for the Wildcats, and Kemar Baldwin gets another rebound. 3 straight rebounds, can't allow it to happen. 50-49. Apalachee leads. Donovan Thompson gets it to his teammate Cox. Back to Thompson up top for Clarke Central. They'll try to call it the play. Jaquan Dowdy with the ball now. Jaquan Dowdy with another. Oh, and they call the charge on that one. That's tough. Apalachee leading 50-49 with 6:54, I should say, remaining in the ball game. Ref getting a towel to wipe off that court from the guy that just fell down. As Quay Cleveland takes some time to tie his shoe. You can see Blakely on the court tying up those pants, making sure those are tight. A little break from action right there. Players get everything situated on their nice apparel. Quay Cleveland inbounds the ball to Jermaine Smith. Wonderful steal there. Gets the ball to Dowdy. Dowdy is fouled. Oh no, Dowdy with the steal gets the ball instead to Donovan Thompson. Thompson was the one who was fouled on the play. Wonderful steal there by Dowdy and getting the ball to his teammate immediately. Donovan Thompson will have 2 free throws here as Clarke Central trails 49-50 with 6:51 remaining in the ball game. Kevin Peters in the game for Apalachee. That's number 15 you see down low, right next to number 15 for Clarke Central, Jakeem Ellison. Thompson with his first free throw. And it's no good. You can see Dowdy coming up to him, giving him his teammates some words of encouragement. I noticed we haven't seen Cameron Johnson out this half. I just saw him walk out from the locker room. Hands over his face a little bit. I'm not sure what the injury could have been there. Donovan Thompson shoots the second free throw, and that's no good as well, but Dowdy with the rebound. He'll pitch it outside to Cox. Cox to Leggett. Leggett will dribble in. He loses control of the ball. Blakely with the ball. Clarke Central trailing by 1. Blakely driven the ball all the way down the court. The finger roll too hard. Goes off the back iron. Leggett bringing the ball back down the court for the Gladiators. Almost the back court there. The ref didn't see it though. Jaquan Dowdy with the ball now in the left corner. He gets it to the point guard, Donovan Thompson. Donovan Thompson will make the call from up top. He'll drive. Kick it back outside to Cox. Cox for 3. And that one goes. We've seen the past couple rim out for this guy. And that one goes in as Clarke Central takes the lead 52-50 with 6:13 remaining in the ball game. Kamar Baldwin, wide open. Kevin Peters down low. He tries to put it in. Blakely with the rebound. Both of them no good. Clarke Central gets the rebound. Ellison stripped from behind. Blakely goes up and puts it in. Tie ball game here at 52-52. 5:55 remaining in the game. Cox. Oh, looks like they called a walk there. He scooped the ball just slightly as he tried to, stop, give the fake, head fake, and then go to the basket. They do catch him with a traveling call there. 5:53 remaining in the game. Jaquan Dowdy will come out of the game as Austin Johnson enters. Will help with the defensive presence. We're tied up at 52 here at Clarke Central. Great pressure being put on Jermaine Smith by Austin Johnson. Ellison's been playing great defense as well. He matches up on Kamar, and they do call a foul on the court on Ellison as he pushed off just a little as Kamar Baldwin drove to the basket. And Dowdy does come right back into the ball game for number 15, Jakeem Ellison. Apalachee inbounding the ball from down low, trying to set up that inbounds play. Clarke Central's ready this time. Kevin Peters outside. He drives the lane, puts it up, no good. Air ball. Austin Johnson. They have numbers. Gets it to Cox. Cox goes up, and he's hit from behind. Kamar Baldwin, I should say, with the block. Jaquan Dowdy putting some pressure on him. They do get a trap. And Kamar Baldwin overthrows his teammate, Quay Cleveland there. Clarke Central will take back the possession. 52 all here, folks, with 5:28 remaining in the game. Donovan Thompson gets it outside to Cox. Cox catches his breath. Goes up top to Dowdy. McIntyre calling in the play call. Dowdy dribbles through the legs. Back up top to Thompson. Clarke Central getting a little bit of rest on the offensive end on this position. Not moving around too much. Dowdy wide open for 3. And it's good. Swish. Clarke Central leading 55-52 with 4:55 remaining in the ball game. Quay Cleveland with the ball for Apalachee. Cox with the pressure. They get it outside to Austin Williams. He shoots and his three is good for Apalachee. Just trading threes right there. Austin Miller, I should have said. 4:38 remaining, tied at 55 here at Clarke Central. Jaquan Dowdy with the ball. He pushes off Quay Cleveland. Quay Cleveland with some intense pressure on the ball. Back out to Cox. Cox will regain the composure of the offense here. Back to Thompson. Thompson has it up top as Jermaine Smith squares in to play defense. Back to Dowdy for another setup three. And that one's no good. Might have been tipped. A foul called there on Donovan Thompson. Apalachee will head down the court for a 1-and-1. Apalachee bringing in two subs there. They bring in number 10, Brandon Grulin. And it looks like the other sub is waiting for the shooter. And the first one is good there by Quay Cleveland. Apalachee leading by one now, 56-55, with 4:14 remaining in the ball game. Quay Cleveland, second free throw, no good. Rebound by Cox. Cox dribbles the ball up the court. He looks like he has an opening. He goes all the way. Woo! Dipsy-doo, dunkaroo, baby. I love it. Cox with the basket to make it 57-56. DeAndre Cox with a nice little score there for the Gladiators. Oh, wide open, Blakely down low. He scores to make it 58-57. Apalachee leads. 3:50 remaining in this ball game. Thompson gets the ball on the court. Leggett looking around. Swings to his right. Oh, Blakely with a nice block there for Apalachee. Now they have numbers coming down the court. But Austin Johnson with a wonderful steal. He throws it down the court. Oh, but it's out of bounds. McIntyre still gives him the thumbs up. He likes what he sees out of his guys out there. Clarke Central trailing by one, 58-57, with 3:37 remaining in this ball game. Man, what a finish we're gonna have here. I can just sense it. Can you? Jaquan Dowdy with the defensive pressure. That's 21. Kent Knowles who brings it up for Apalachee. Back to Jermaine Smith. Oh, he goes to the opposite side with the left hand and spins it in there. Apalachee leading by 3, 60-57. Thompson with the ball, back to Austin Johnson. Johnson bringing it up the court. Almost the backcourt there, no call. Oh, wonderful drive there, and it does not go in, but it looks like they may call goaltending, and they do. That'll be 2 free points there for the Gladiators, making it 59-60. Gladiators trail by one with 3:07 remaining. Those 2 points will go to Austin Johnson there. Knowles for the inbound. And it's stolen by Jaquan Dowdy. Gets it to Austin Johnson. Johnson may have traveled there, and he did. Just he barely hop-stepped there. The ref calls it. Apalachee bringing back in one of their studs, Kamar Baldwin, into the ball game. Towel back on the court to wipe up the sweat. Knowles for the inbound pass. Last time he did it, Jaquan Dowdy came up with the steal. We'll see what happens here. Another trap set up by Clarke Central. And another steal by Clarke Central as well. Leggett with the ball. He is fouled by number 32, Cameron Blakely. That will send Leggett to the line for 2 free throws. Two free throws for Leggett as Clarke Central trails by one with 2:57 remaining in the ball game. And the first free throw is good. We're knotted up at 60, tied up again here at Clarke Central. What a game, folks. Leggett trying to put the Gladiators in the lead right here. And he does. Clarke Central leading 61-60. Full timeout called by Andre McIntyre. Woo! 2:57 remaining in this one. Gonna be a great finish here. As you can already see, Apalachee bringing back in their starting guard, Quay Cleveland. He'll be back in out of this break after the full timeout. A couple big things to watch here. The main scores for Apalachee have been Kamar Baldwin Rakeem Peters, and Cameron Blakely. Those three guys will be really big to watch, especially them trying to get the ball down low to their big men. They've been looking for that a lot tonight. Clarke Central's been doing a great job of fronting him, not allowing Blakely to get that ball open on a clean look. Great defensive presence by the Gladiators. You can tell McIntyre's been preaching that to them all week, knowing they were facing a great big man in Blakely. The Navy in gold versus the red in gold. What a matchup we've had tonight. 2 minutes, 57 seconds remaining. Gladiators lead 61-60. Apalachee ball. And we'll see that press again. Gladiators have been pressing and trapping. Trap right off that first inbounds pass. We'll see how that works on this one. Here comes the trap. And it does not work. Quake Cleveland breaks the press. He's going to travel. He was looking at Blakely, but great job by Leggett getting in the way of the pass. Quake Cleveland comes up a little gimpy there. Coach trying to ask him if he's okay. They bring out the towel to wipe the floor again. They've been really efficient with this towel use tonight. Right away, towel comes out. They'll wipe up the floor this time. In the ball game for the Gladiators, we have Dowdy, Thompson, Johnson, Leggett, and Cox. Still see Cameron Johnson on the sideline. Seems to be favoring either his right or left ankle. Maybe the left ankle that he's pointing to. Nonetheless, we're going to go with the guys we have out there now. Clarke Central leading 61-60. 2:48 and ticking in this ball game. Cox outside on the right corner. He's on Blakely now. Austin Johnson gets it up top. He'll go back up top, reset the offense. Almost a walk there. He kicks it outside to Thompson. Thompson waiting for the screen to Leggett. Doesn't really come. Thompson gets it outside to Cox. Cox. Now Leggett sets the screen for Cox. DeAndre Cox kicks it back out to Jaquan Dowdy. Clarke Central using up some time here. 2:11 remaining in the ball game now to this long possession here. Jaquan Dowdy will drive. Looked almost like two different calls by the ref. I'm confused. One ref made one call, another ref made another call. Seems they have agreed it's a charging call. So that'll go against. As we just saw, Clarke Central used up a ton of clock there. There's no shot clock. They took it down from about 2:48 all the way to 2:05 on that possession. Clarke Central leads by 1. No towel there on the wet spot. They just used their shoes that time. 2:05 remaining, Clarke Central leading by 1. The trap comes. Kamar Baldwin trying to get rid of it, and he does. He gets it to his teammate Ahmed Ahmed. Ahmed Ahmed looking. Oh, and the floater in the lane goes. 62-61, Apalachee leads. 1:51 to go. Wide open Leggett down low. And he puts it up, and it's no good. Blakely's presence had to have an effect. It looked like Quake Cleveland stepped out there. Ref didn't see it. Back outside to Ahmed Ahmed. He gets it up top to Quake Cleveland. Looks like their coach is asking Apalachee to run some four corners here. Use some time on the clock as well. Inside to Peters. Peters puts it up, and it's no good. Clarke Central ball. Big possession here. 1:25 remaining in the ball game. Jaquan Dowdy has it, and he's going to drive. Out of control. Got to be under control when you go to the basket like that. Kamar Baldwin. It's stolen by Cox. Cox going to wonderful spin move right there and puts it in. 63-62. 1:11 remaining in the ball game. Apalachee unloads a football pass to Blakely, and he puts it up, but they already say the call was on the floor. They're saying the shot is no good there by Blakely. Looks like it'll be a 1-on-1 situation for Blakely from the free throw line. Clarke Central leading 63-62 with 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining in the ball game. It is a 1-on-1 situation. Big free throws here for Apalachee. And the shot is good. We're tied up at 63 with 1:05 left. What a game. Clarke Central was trailing by as many as 14 points earlier in the ball game. Now trailing by 1 point as Blakely puts in both of his free throws. Apalachee leading 64-63 with 1:05 left. Apalachee with the pressure now. Clarke Central gets it into Donovan Thompson. Thompson brings the ball up the court. Outside to Austin Johnson. He gets it up top to DeAndre Cox. For three, DeAndre, and it's no good. Blakely secures the ball for Apalachee. Apalachee calls a timeout. 44 seconds remaining in the ball game. Apalachee with a 1-point lead, 64-63. Trying to see if that's a full or a 30-second. It will be a full timeout. 44 seconds remaining in this ball game. You have to think that Apalachee is devising a plan right here to get it into the hands of one of their best free throw shooters. Blakely has been shooting well from the free throw line, so they may try to get get the ball to him. Off of this out of bounds, you never know. Clarke Central in a position where there isn't a shot clock. Apalachee could just run clock here, so I figure that we may see Clarke Central indeed foul and try to force Apalachee to the free throw line so Clarke Central can get the ball back on offense. Then again, I'm just speculating. We'll see what actually happens out on the court just shortly. Looks like Clarke Central is going to stick with that same lineup they had out there. That's Donovan Thompson, Austin Johnson, Leroy Leggett, DeAndre Cox, and who is the other guy out there? And Jaquan Dowdy. And they get it to Kamar Baldwin, who is a great free throw shooter I've seen thus far. Apalachee leading by 1. 36 seconds remaining in the ball game. Kamar Baldwin dribbling it up top. Jaquan Dowdy trying to reach in for that steal. And they do get the steal. Leggett brings the ball up the court. Almost walked there, almost walked. And they don't call it. It looked like the whole Apalachee bench, in fact, the whole Apalachee crowd that came down here for the game was screaming for a walk. It's not called. Full timeout called by Clarke Central. We have 25 seconds remaining in the ball game. Clarke Central 63, Apalachee 64. Full timeout here. Can only assume that Coach Andre McIntyre is in the huddle devising up the perfect play so that Clarke Central can come out of here with a win in this big ball game. Big region matchup here in 8-5A. As I said earlier, Salem in first place, but Apalachee and Clarke Central right on Salem's tails with identical 6-3 region records. Salem with that 7-2 region record. I know I brought up the average points per game earlier. I said Clarke Central at 65 points per game and Apalachee at 69. I mean, we're about right at that mark right now. I tell you what, both teams sticking to what they do best, putting up points on the board. It'd be nice to see Clarke Central get to that average. That'll put Clarke Central at 65-64. Austin Johnson will be the one with the inbounds pass. Ball given to Donovan Thompson. Donovan Thompson setting things up from the top. Back to Jaquan Dowdy. It looks like they're trying to get the ball to Cox. And Cox does have it. They want the ISO there. Cox takes it all the way himself. And it's no good. And they call a foul right away instead of a jump ball. 8 seconds remaining in the ball game. That'll be Cameron Blakely, who will go to the line for Apalachee. He'll have 2 shots in the double bonus here. Apalachee leading 64-63. 8 seconds remaining, or to be exact, 8.7 seconds remaining in this ball game. Cameron Blakely, the tension builds. His first free throw is good. Apalachee leading 65-63 now. You can just feel it. You can just feel that pressure on that free throw shooter right now, trying to extend the Wildcats' lead to 3 points. Clarke Central still got a shot at this. Second free throw, up, and it's a swish. Blakely, a great free throw shooter. Apalachee now leading 66-63. Looks like another full timeout call here. Clarke Central going to have to shoot a three-pointer. Can't help but wonder if we'll see Apalachee perhaps foul. I don't know if that'll happen. I know we've seen it some in college basketball and the NBA when a team's up 3, fouling to prevent the other team from shooting a three-pointer and tying things up. But we'll see what happens. Apalachee may play it smart. Either way, you can only assume that Coach Kevin Morris is making sure that his team knows not to foul the shooter. Don't want a situation where they foul someone in the act of shooting. And one thing I can only figure that Apalachee will have an eye out for, DeAndre Cox, he's been getting the ball a ton for Clarke Central. They're going to be putting pressure on him, so I don't know if Clarke Central may have to go to something else in this situation because of that. Gladiators break the huddle. DeAndre Cox is down the court with Donovan Thompson. It looks like Cox will indeed get to bring it up on his own. Cox gets the ball. 7, 6. Cox will shoot the 3, and it's no good. He airballed it to the left. Apalachee will come up with a win, 66-63. Cox just didn't get a clean look at the basket at all. A man was right in his face. He did get off the shot, which is good, but it was an air ball to the right. Unfortunate for the Gladiators, as Clarke Central will drop to 13-4 overall and 6-4 in the region. Apalachee moving to 13-3 and 7-3 in the region. Two great teams. You can only assume we'll hear more about them in region play as the season continues. Thanks for joining us here on GITV. We'll be back here again this Saturday as Clarke Central faces off as Cedar Shoals. You can catch us here on GITV. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.